So I remember this one story that our priest at our church growing up told when I was little that I remember. And it's always stuck with me, despite becoming more progressive and less religious. It's still stuck with me because it still has a good message. So I want to share the story here. So this is the story as I remember from the priest's sermon during Mass. So there's this family. They made ham instead of turkey, but the mom was preparing it for Thanksgiving, and the daughter was watching her prepare it. And every year, she remembered that the mom would always cut it in half before cooking the ham. And then the daughter got older. She had a family of her own. She moved out, and so since she remembered her mom cutting the ham in half before cooking it, she would cut it in half. And her daughter asked, like, Mom, why do you cut the ham in half before you cook it? And she says, well, that's because that's how my mom made it. So fast forward in time, the granddaughter grows up. She cuts her ham in half for Thanksgiving. And her daughter asks, why do you cut the ham in half before you cook it? And her answer, of course, is that's because that's how my mom made it. And then this granddaughter was very persistent about asking this question. So she asked it every year and always got the answer, that's how my mom made it. Until finally they decided one day they were just going to go to, I think it was the great grandma at this point. And grandma asked great grandma, Mom, why did you cut the ham in half before you cooked it on Thanksgiving? She gives a big sigh and she's like, well, it was because the ham was too big to fit into the pot. And I don't remember if this was exactly the lesson the priest was trying to give with the sermon at the time, but the lessons I've always taken from it is that as people, we tend to romanticize little things as tradition, even if they're very frivolous, and we romanticize the past way too much. And to me, it's also always served as a reminder that just because something is a tradition or how things used to be done or have always been done, doesn't mean that's the way it should be done or it was the best way to be done. Sometimes it was just the best way to do it at the time, or the best we knew with the information we had. So I guess moral of the story is don't let tradition tie you down to the past. Like tradition serves a people. People shouldn't serve tradition. Just remember that just because that's how certain things used to be done or how things used to be seen does not mean that's how we should always continue to do things. Sometimes the only reason for having a tradition or belief is because the pot was too small and nobody bothered to ask grandma why she was cutting the turkey in half or the ham in half. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that TED Talk. We'll see you next time.